Now he's going laterally. He's going to throw it on the run, and it's broken up, and there's no flag. Home flag comes in late.
I know what you are thinking. This looks oddly familiar, doesn't it? Mahomes and the Chiefs in a crucial game-defining drive, being put against the wall by the opposing defense. And in an attempt to show his undoubted greatness, Mahomes fails to deliver when it mattered the most. But out of seemingly nowhere, a flag comes into frame, a penalty, giving the Chiefs another chance at redemption. But was it actually the right call to throw the flag for this play? Depending on who you root for, the answer may vary. But no one can deny this side of the referees calling dubious penalties in favor of Mahomes, and the Chiefs has become increasingly more prominent and inexcusable. Could this all be just a common case of fans hating on winning teams? Truth be told, they are one of the most successful and hated teams in NFL's history. Let's take a look at this issue once and for all and decide if we've got a favoritism problem or if we have all been deceived by the media and hatred towards greatness. Just this past week, we witnessed the ending to the Bengals-Chiefs game in a way we have definitely seen before. A comeback by the Chiefs, led by the game-winning drive by Mahomes doing what he does best. Suddenly, we're in a 4th and 16 situation. With 40 seconds left to play, the Bengals defense looks to lock it down and take a statement win in week 2. But the moment that had us all questioning the integrity of the game we love is this penalty call. A pass interference call against the Bengals defense. A call that eventually sealed the win for the Chiefs and broke the heart of Joe Burrow and Bengals fans. But more than that, it had the entire NFL fan base a bit skeptical about how it all played out. Not that long ago, we had a very similar situation, this time in a game where the stakes were much bigger. Super Bowl 57. In a matchup as tight as one could ever wish for, the Chiefs and the Eagles were tied at 35 points apiece and down to the last 2 minutes of the game. Suddenly, a fast and clinical drive by Mahomes is met by a solid Philadelphia defense, posing a tough 3rd and 8 situation for the Chiefs and the Super Bowl hopes. Mahomes takes the snap, drops back, and seems to have overthrown his receiver. Pressure got to him quickly and had to get rid of the ball fast. But we all know what ended up happening. Again out of nowhere, a penalty flag comes to bail out the Chiefs in a crucial drive. This time, a soft holding call was called by the refs. In the game-defining moment, yet again, a penalty call kills the game and seals the fate of a team and their entire season. You can be the judge of that, but there is definitely room for criticism here in such a big stage for a call providing the most anticlimactic ending to a Super Bowl ever. The drive ended in the Chiefs scoring on a chip shot field goal and taking the Lombardi home. But the question still remains: what incentive would the referees have to favor one team over another? Let's now look into the most recent Super Bowl between the Chiefs and the 49ers. Once again, the stakes are as high as they can get. In a game that had both teams neck to neck and which will eventually go into overtime, where a single play could have changed the trajectory of the game and potentially the outcome, we find ourselves diving deep into a few plays. Not all controversial calls are as blatant or clear. Sometimes we can find even more discrepancy in no-call plays that favor one side more than the other. This game was no exception, with multiple calls that the refs overlooks, mostly holding calls which should be easier to spot, even more so when they are this clear. It doesn't take a trained eye to spot the holding on these plays, most of which could have ended in a sack or worse. And what would you know, it was always 3rd down and late in the game when all of these took place. We're starting to see a bit of a pattern. You would think for the biggest game of the season, the referring team would also be composed of the best out there, but sadly, there were plenty of calls missed throughout the game. And again, more towards one team than another. Moving on, we've got one of the most infamous games and controversial set of plays in recent history. Again, the Bengals find themselves in a crucial game against the Chiefs, but this time with the winner of the matchup to book a spot for Super Bowl 57. As if drawn from a script, the pattern repeats itself. Tied score, late into the game, 3rd down. Mahomes drops back in an attempt to keep the drive going and throws it to Kelsey, but in doing so, they fall short of the 1st down. With a look of defeat in their faces, the KC offense walks out the field. The game continues as normal. The punting unit comes in, and moments later, in what can only be described as one of the weirdest game errors in recent memory, the referees call the play back. This time, not because of any penalty, but rather a clock error. After the shocking do-over of third down, we finally get some justice for the Cincinnati Bengals as they manage to sack Patrick Mahomes, shutting them once again in third down. But what do we see if not a familiar sight in a penalty flag flying near the secondary? A holding call against the defense, and the Chiefs get to breathe again. It is hard to believe, but this wasn't the only controversial moment of the game. With just 17 seconds to play and playing on third down, Mahomes fails to find an open receiver. But the play didn't finish just like that. A late shove by the Bengals' Joseph Osai granted a huge penalty that would end up sealing the game. In a play that should have seen at the very least offsetting penalties because of the blatant holding from multiple Chiefs linemen, which allowed Mahomes to find space, the Chiefs instead got the yardage needed to take the win with a last-second field goal. Okay, but then how is it that they are always involved in championship games? They must be good enough to be getting to these instances time and time again.
Well, Pat, the league knows. If the league knows it has an issue on its hands, and the league knows it has to be addressed, and the league knows it needs to do better.
This play right here, you got to call that. I mean, I've been around football a long time.
Yeah.
This is a foul.
You're not even looking.
You can't miss this one.
And Mahomes is going to go for 6, and there's nobody there except a Charger. However, a flag does come in.
Right from 37. He missed it, but a flag is down.
Holding, number 51, defense, 5-yard penalty.
From the 1, Mahomes, end zone. He's got another. 4 on the night. Travis Kelce yet again.
Mahomes looking, flag is down as Hardman was hit. Keeps it alive and fires in traffic, incomplete. And another flag down there. Edwards-Helaire in motion. Mahomes throws it in the middle as a flag down. Incomplete for Kelce, but a flag comes down here.
Here it comes, a big hold, no question. Kelce retaliates by throwing his helmet into the front.
He's going to have someone make a play. Boy, they are coming. Cousins just lofts it up in the air, and interference call is on the way against Snead.
There is no foul for pass interference.
For Chris Jones on first down again. They go deep, and Williams on the coverage of Beckham's. First time we've seen Odell today. A little bit of it, but watch right here. Crowd just watched it on the screen here, and they're reacting. 1-yard line has now reached the Chiefs' 25, 2nd and 10. To the end zone again, and it is intercepted. Intercepted. You cannot make that decision. Second giveaway in the end. Lamar backpedaling and just throwing it away. Is that going to generate a flag?
Fucking terrible. Fucking worst call I've ever fucking seen, man.
You'll see 27 come in, and right here he turns, and boom, he grabs him. And the initial one, everyone sees the end. There's a little bit of foot.
Holmes has time here. Gets with coverage downfield. Mahomes with Forever's got a long way to go. Got 10, got 20, got the first down at the 30. Flag, but it'll be 3rd and 20 and convert to a first down.
Before the pass was thrown, holding, defense number 11. It's a 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
And that's on a defensive lineman in Jermaine Johnson. 6 for a touchdown. Pressure comes, picked up. Cousins end zone. No! Trying to get it to Kyle Pitts. Play clock running down. 4th and 5. They'll go for it. Pressure comes. Cousins wants it. And it's incomplete. Trying to get it again with Hook there in coverage. Drake London, the intended receiver.
Let us play, man. Like, let us play the game. And then whatever happens, happens. Like, the whole throwing the flag and deciding the game one or another,
that's what hurts me.
These instances highlight how specific calls, or lack thereof, have fueled perceptions of referee favoritism toward the Kansas City Chiefs over recent seasons. We have only covered a small portion of all these calls in the video, so it is no surprise that people are skeptical about this matter. In reality, whether these calls were rightfully judged or not, and if the refs or the NFL have an affinity towards their favorite franchise, we can't say for certain, and it would be nearly impossible to find definite proof. Just because a team gets multiple controversial calls time and time again during key plays, resulting in season-altering moments and driving the team forward, doesn't mean we can attribute that to any purposeful wrongdoing. What we can know for certain is that there is a real refereeing issue in the league that needs to be addressed, as it keeps affecting all of us fans every week. Tell us what you think about this matter. Has it gone too far already? And if you enjoyed the content, let us know by giving the video a thumbs up. Until next time.